to go back to B.Eng. Good. So this will give you option to describe what you want. So if you also want to like get education on how the prompts look like, you can see the examples of the prompts that is showing you by clicking here. So you see design a volunteer sign in form to know, like that. It's giving you like the beginning of the prompts that you can decide to add something to. So it's saying draft an intake form for a fitness center to collect what's new members, personal information, fitness goal, and health. Then this is saying propose a town hall feedback survey to collect employee feedback on clarity of communication, relevance of topic, and all of that. So the point is, it's a command, right? Prompts are actually command. So design, draft, propose, create, all these are actually action words that are used to tell the system what to do. So even if this doesn't fall into the category of what you want Copilot to do for you, you may want to know the pattern with which Copilot understands the prompting to be able to create forms for you. So let's just say draft. Let's use like the default here that say draft an intake form for a fitness center to collect. Let's say when you click on that, so it's going to come up like this: draft an intake form for a fitness center to collect new member personal information, fitness goal, and health history. The form should have field for customer information, current exercise routine, known health issues, and emergency contacts. So this is a well-detailed prompt, right? So when I go ahead and I hit on generate, I'll just fold my hands and then it will come through the idea and generate a form a split of seconds, right? So if you look at it from the beginning, say fitness center new member intake form is going to be their name. Fill out the form. It's going to be the instruction with your personal information, fitness goal, and health history. This information will help us tailor our services to meet your needs, right? So full name, date of birth, and all of that. If you feel this detail collected are fine by you, you can click on keep. You can also click on edit prompts to make changes. But let's say we are fine. So we're going to hit on this, and this is going to be like the form, right? So this is the form. So you can thereafter decide to, give some designs to it. If you have images you want to upload, you can of course upload from your device and add it there. But this is a new machine for me. I don't have anything there, so I will not have anything to upload. So if you also go to this place, you can go to the styles. Of course, you can now go ahead and do the normal modifications you would like to do on a form. So if it is fine by you this way, so you can just say preview. So if you preview it, then it's going to come the way it ought to come, right? So the good thing about this is it knows when to give the long text. Remember, this is a long text question, and then this is the one-liner, shorts, what I call it shorts, where long is not turned on for the user. So this is how the form is going to look. So if it is okay, you can go and see collect responses, and then you choose who can see the form. Can be anyone can respond. And then the next thing you do is to copy the link, and it means that if I come here to in private windows and I paste that link here, then since it's anyone can view, yes, this is my form. So please fill out the provided information, your full name, and then your dates. You can click on dates to bring up dates, email address, phone number, address, and then what's your fitness goal, then release, just according to the prompts that we had given it. This is fine, right? There is no stress thinking of the type of questions you know to ask or type of information to collect and all of that. So if we come back to forms, right, we can also by ourselves try to, of course, you see that form is not going to be here. Of course, we can decide to go to forms, and then what we do is I enjoy trying things very well. So we can say create a form to create to receive to collect device status from users, computer users. Let's this include um, the name of user, the spec of the laptop, the date of inception, any current issues, and similar questions. So I'm just going to do it this way. I could go ahead to give more description. So this is me just saying that you could actually go ahead to type your prompt yourself and view through it. The form is naturally, I mean, titled based on what I supply to see the device states collection is a name. I mean, device status collection is the name of the form. This form is designed to, so this is the information about the form. Collect the status of your computer device. Please provide accurate details to help us understand the condition of your device. So this is Copilot's understanding what I'm trying to achieve, and it is going in there to go check and say, okay, this instruction is going to be good for the user. So if I don't like this, I can remove it. Okay. So, but I think I like the way that sounds, right? So, name of user. So you're going to enter your name. Laptop specification is going to be here. Enter your answer. Then date of inception. So current issue. So here we want to see that so if you want let's click on edit prompt and see. So if you click on edit prompt, then it's just going to go back to bring the prompt for you again, just in case you want to add to it. Request also collect users location. So we can just hit on it here, and then let's see what happens again. So let's see now. User location is the next, is the last one. So of course you can decide to regenerate your prompts by clicking on this. Just so maybe you're not comfortable with the output. Same way we do in PowerPoint in other applications, especially on PowerPoint, right? So you can ask it to regenerate these questions for you. But if you're fine with it, also you can click on keep, and then you have it. You can go ahead to customize it. So either you're using the custom prompts or the built-in prompts for your forms, right? So this is, hold on, I don't know. This is a VM. I don't know why it is trying to be frozen for me, but it will respond now. Okay, so I wanted to move to how to use this also in terms of quiz, but that machine is trying to act up. I wouldn't mind it. I may just quickly go to the same tenant here and just do forms.microsoft.com, forms.office.com, then we can move on. I will just be using it here. Okay, so here we go. That form we just did, this is it, the one we had in that virtual machine. So we can continue to edit it from here by saying, okay, I want to change the style to do some other stuff, just so we can, so you can decide to just a normal customization you could do to a form. So collect responses and do all of that. So I will again come back home to forms, and the other part I want to quickly show us, because of the activities we have lined up today, is quiz. Right, quiz is very important, and for me, I like quiz so much. So most time I create questions for my mentees, and this has been proven to be very, very useful to me. So what I do is to bring my description of my what I have done for them, and I ask it to help me form questions based on the curriculum, right? So I think what we can try out is to get the URL, and then bring it in to see if you set questions based on this. I just want to say something quickly. I've not tried that before, so we can see. Let us see steps to deploy Azure virtual machine. Okay, let me see. So if I come here, so what I just want to do is to see if I can bring the link and say should form questions from this. Generate. Let me before then, let's look at the inbuilt prompts view. So it's going to say prepare an exercise with correct answers. This to this, draft up some English quiz with correct answers. So it's more like create draft, like giving it a command. Let's say okay, create 10 set of questions from this Microsoft documentation. Let me see if it will be smart enough to go read up this. Just wondering. Let's see. Copilot isn't able to generate content from this just yet. Okay. So I think we can use that opportunity to give feedback, but if it requires me to sign in, I'm not sure I want to go that far. Okay, so what's wrong? So we can say pilot could not read the contents of web URL and create test slash assessments. It's PG. So let's say what is this? Let's click on submit. Sign in with it's okay. You can go that way. Good. So I think that should be seen by the product team. That is actually going to be something very, very useful. I would have loved to just bring up the URL and say, go read through this and give me a response. I haven't said that. We'll go for another one. We may just remove this and say, okay, I want to onboard. I want to do an assessment for recruit people for the position of IT administrator. So I want to say create assessment for the recruitment of IT administrators. So let's see. So we're just going to do generate. Let's see what happens at this point. So of course, it's doing something. It's doing something. So it's doing something based on what an IT admin is supposed to know, or somebody applying for the position of IT admin is supposed to know. And the questions are already building. I have 10 questions. So what if we want to say, this is saying add or remove. Can you add 5 questions? Add 5 questions. Let's see. So I had 10 and I'm saying it should add 5. Let's see if it can do 15. So that is 3. That is 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I've got my 10 back and I'm going to 11, I'm going to 12, 13, 14, then I have 15. Oh, all right. So let me also say it should include where they will have to answer theoretical questions. Let's see. Also, to answer theoretical, I can get out questions. Maybe three questions. Let's see. So that's going to make it 15 plus 3. That's going to be 18. So let's see what happens before we take a look at the question itself. Generating it. Okay, 10. So I think this can also be a very great help to people who still go for examinations and I mean assessment for IT um, IT roles, like IT administrator roles. So if we are fine, we can click on keep. So what I want to see is the body of the question. So one thing that is so interesting here is that even someone who is not an IT personnel, so to say, will be able to draft questions that are relevant to IT role and will be able to know the response. Let's say HR, who is not a tech person, can go ahead and do this because from here the correct answers are also noted. And it's saying that there are 210 points for this. The assessment is designed to evaluate the knowledge and skills of candidates applying for IT administrator position. Please answer all questions to the best of your ability. That's the instruction. And then it's saying what is the primary function of DNS server. Translate domain name to IP. I'm sure that is correct and you will agree with me. And this is saying which protocol is used to securely transfer files over the internet. And then it is Safe File Transfer Protocol. This is SFTP. Okay. So, and then it is saying to say what does RAID stand for in computer storage, and then saying redundant array of independent disk, and then we come to say which of the following is a common network topology. Of course, there's no circle, there's no square, there's no triangle, but there is star, and then like that, and then let's look at the theoretical part of these questions. So here we are saying something about explain the importance of network security in an organization. 20 points describe, so we can decide to reduce the points, adjust them accordingly. Describe the points of setting up secure wire network. Then what are the key responsibilities of, so this is a very nice one. I think somebody who is not techie will only have issues with the theoretical part because there is no correct answer to this, like that you can actually reference. But of course, you can find out about it. But one thing that is so interesting is the objective parts. And we can say collect responses, and then we can do shorten URL, and then say, okay, who can view? Shall anybody? Then we can copy. So this is definitely going to be useful to me, for example, that sometimes you still take some assessments and see how to do. So this is it. You can look at it from the front end where the user does not know which is the correct answer to the question. And if we answer this, we are going to see the points that we are making. So let's just click through. I just hope we're not going to get zero before we round up. So I'm not checking the answer, please. I'm just clicking just so we can submit something and see how the response is coming. I'm not reading the question just so you see us score zero on this call. So we do this. Okay, I think we can submit at any rate because there's no mandatory question there. That means it has been submitted, and what it means is that if we come here and then we refresh this, we should be able to see that there's one response on the form already, and this is the response here. And then the score is going to show up there as well to see what the person scored. Person spent 41 minutes, and then what's the then Let me hide this and view report, right? Let me open this and see. Okay, we'll not do that for now. Open results in Excel. Okay, so this is saying there was no response. So let's look up here. It's got 0. I mean 100% here, right? Then so on, it's got 100% there. So the grading also going to come out. So that is not something to worry about. So that's how simple and how easy it is for you to use Copilots in Microsoft Forms to create your quizzes and your your forms just to track or get feedback from people. I'm sure this is definitely useful to Ross. And thank you very much for your attention. I want to stop sharing my screen now.
Very good, Joseph. Those Microsoft Forms are really very good. I used them myself as well there recently for doing the AI 900 exam, and very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so cool to see how fast it can respond to our query to create those forms for us.
Yeah.
Great demos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
So
So this was the kind of last show this year, then until the 11th of January.
That's true. Yes. And on the 11th, we'll be in, what will that be? That'll be a
You'll be in
Saturday.
London.
So we'll
You'll be
just
in
be
London.
coming off the MCT event, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
MCP is on the 9th and the 10th.
Right. Will you be going back to Dublin by then, or back to Cork?
I'll be back in Cork for the 11th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see you and Matthew and meet Solomon, and I'm sure several other MCTs from over in Europe and
yeah.
overseas. I'm not sure how many are coming from the U.S., but I know Bill Coulterman and I are coming.
Okay. I'd say Ralph will be going as well.
Yeah, Ralph.
McLaughlin.
Rolf, yeah, and I believe he's still in Ireland.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's full time with Microsoft right now.
No.
So I still haven't heard back from Kieran or Jim Kelly. I don't know if you've heard from either of them
No.
about the tour.
No.
I need to nail them down. Hopefully next week, just to confirm that we can get in to the office. But I think between the two of them, they're probably more interested in who's coming. So I'll go ahead and use my list of student ambassadors and see if that date, that afternoon works for them. And then we can get them the details on, where to meet and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So you can tell them there'll be 3 MVPs there. So that
Yeah. And there may be others, that can join us locally, but we'll start with 3 MVPs and, see how many student ambassadors we can add to the list.
Very good.
Excellent.
Okay, so we wanted to look at how we started off this year, and how far we have gone, how far we've achieved so far. I know I joined this show. I can't remember when. I think it should be around maybe May or so, right? So, and I see a lot of progress already. I see Dan trying to do a lot of things for the community here. I see myself becoming MVP. I see renewals from your end. I see Teresa. I see Fran, who is a recent MVP co-pilot. So there are a lot of achievements so far, and I want to quickly say that I am proud to have been a member of this team. I see a lot of progress so far. The support is very massive when it comes to issues that we need to deal with. So I truly appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this team. Yeah.
Now, Frank, I think in the last 2 years you've had, I don't know if we've documented how many, guests we've had on. I think we've kind of done some of that with Arindam when he talked about Journey to the Cloud hitting the 2-year mark. But certainly the Azure and AI show probably dwarfs the number of guests we've had on and the number of community members that have received their MVP. Starting with Matthew, I want to say Matthew might have been the first one from our community to get his MVP during the Journey to the Cloud or the Azure and AI show. But then figuring out some of those numbers would be an interesting newsletter. Maybe we can twist Teresa's arm to help us with some of that if we get her like the recordings or the reminder of who's been on the different shows.
Yeah, and that would be interesting. All right, to see like over the 2 years, there's been a lot of different people on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Amelia was on there recently and done some interesting stuff on Power Automate.
Yeah.
And
Ami was yet, sir.
Yeah, you were there for that one. We actually normally run the show for an hour, and because it was so interesting, people wanted to see more of it, so we carried it on for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting event. That's one that sticks out to me there more recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see how a weekly show saying it's going to be an hour, I think is the right balance between enough time for people to present and get to know each other and visit and answer questions if questions come in. The 2 hours for a monthly show, I think, was a good balance of, it's only once a month, so an hour seems kind of maybe too short for that. But I think having this hour showcase weekly has been super helpful, because if people missed one episode, like I've missed several this past year, especially with the switch to Saturdays, that was within 2024, right, Frank?
Yeah.
But I think Fridays for some people are better, and then for other people Saturdays are better. So having 2 days as choices for people, I think, has been helpful. And then I know for many of us that are working, a Saturday works better than a weekday. So thank you for shepherding the changes and fostering the community and everything else. I know the newsletter is something that we still have available, but we don't currently have like an active editor that comes up with what we're talking about each month, or a wrap up for 2025. Frank, when are you doing the festive tech calendar? Is that coming up, or have you already done your episode?
Yeah, that'll be coming out actually. It's just this week was on. So I done one on, it was kind of a blog post on Copilot with Excel.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I missed that. I saw you on the list. I snuck in on the list for December 27th. So I'm going to do something on MVP wrapped, MCT wrapped, and community wrapped, just kind of wrap up the year. So I may end up doing the newsletter just so I've got another thing to show off during that session for festive tech calendar.
Yeah. And you done that workshop as well with what's the one there in Nigeria that you're going out to?
Oh, I don't know the details of the name of the event. Somebody asked me about that this week in a class.
So it's Tech Fest. I mean, Cloud Festival. I think that's
Cloud Festival. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Excellent. Yeah, I hadn't. I think I got over the information they needed from a standpoint of my background for some of the advertisements and brochures and things. But I know Teresa and myself are planning to attend. Joseph, do you know if there's anybody else from the U.S.? Or
I think
from?
it's just the two of you that I know of for now.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be fun to get over there, and my girlfriend is from traced her lineage back to Nigeria and Sierra Leone. So this will be her first trip there too.
Yeah.
Cool to both visit there for the first time. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one for us too.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be sometime late June, I guess.
Yeah.
All our industry work the way it
I
is.
think it was late June to maybe early July. It was like a week or at least a few days. So
Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think
I don't have
I
all
think
the details, but
the
as
yeah
those details come available, we'll be sure to share those with this community and figure out if we're doing any in person. Maybe a journey to the cloud or a special Azure and AI show from around the world, from
Mm.
other places around the world, right?
yeah.
And frankly, we
So
could look at recording something while we're all in person in either Ireland or Manchester, UK.
yeah, so on that event in Africa, it's on the 28th of June, and
Yeah, that's on.
it's just a 1 day event.
Okay.
And for yourself and Teresa, they're going to put me up for 5 days.
I believe so.
Yeah, so like they
I'm
just
not
don't
sure
want.
if we'll do it, or
Yeah,
I'm not
so
sure what the whole week looks like. But it'll be
yeah,
interesting.
so they're going to put
Yeah,
you up for 5 days because of the trip that's in it. They don't want you just to be kind of flying in and then flying out 1 day. They want to kind of
Right.
give you. They might bring you on safari or somewhere like that.
We are open and willing
Yeah,
to
yeah.
visit and learn more about the country, and this will be my first time on the continent of Africa, so that's wonderful.
Okay, cool.
I'm sure you will enjoy coming. Yeah,
Yes.
June is going to be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that after the rainy season? The person in class asked me if it was the rainy season. I'm like, I
Okay,
don't.
so that period is going to be the beginning of the raining season.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So it's going to be fun. I promise you.
Yeah. They were asking if I was going to miss the rainy season. I'm like, rain or no rain, I'm still coming. This isn't about like the weather for me. This is about the community. So
Yeah, that's important.
yeah,
To the
it
event,
would be nice if it's not the rainy season or a rainy week, right? But either way, I'm sure we're going to have a wonderful time. So hoping for good weather.
it'll be a bit
Yeah.
forward in Chicago anyway, Dan.
Yes. Chicago's weather in that time of year is sometimes unpredictable, but it's summer in Chicago, late June.
Okay.
And sometimes it's really hot and sometimes it's just, reasonable temperatures. It's just hard to predict.
So it's around 30 to 35 in
Probably,
Nigeria.
yeah, that's probably the average. But I mean, we've had weeks in Chicago in June that are, probably 21 to 25 degrees Celsius. We've had weeks that are, 35, 30 to 35. It's very
I think it's going to be. I
week
think it's
to
going
week.
to be. It's going to be about the same temperature at that time, right?
Okay,
Because
good.
that's what we'll have at that time.
Yeah, we'll be familiar with, those kind of temperatures. So that won't be
Cool.
cool.
So, kind of some of the stuff that we really kind of done most of this year, kind of on the Azure AI show, kind of was all around Copilot, in M365 and that. Um, we had somebody else on there as well a few weeks back doing some demos for us. What was her name?
Rafiah.
Oh,
Rafiah.
Rafiah, that was it. Rafiah had done some demos for us on the Copilot stuff, which was good.
Yes.
Hope she comes back and does some more for us as well.
Yeah. Yeah. She's just trying to balance out some few things. She'll be back fully by maybe next year.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. So also have Steven here did some few things for us, and I was fortunate to meet Steven one on one after meeting him here in the Azure AI Show for a very long time. I mean, for frequent times. So he was in Nigeria, and I went to visit him. Frank, you know, one thing I see is that there was little or no difference between Steve that I see on the show and the one I saw physically. So that's to speak about the power of collaboration. It's really very, very strong, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The community, yeah, is very kind of big. Like we've got a big reach now. Like even Seena coming on and doing the power apps for us.
yeah,
Seena,
yeah. So
and
it actually fostered a lot of collaboration and coexistence as well, right?
yeah, yeah. So like we have who else was on with us there? Like Teresa, Cyrus, um, would come on from time to time with us. Teresa's in the US, so like we have people from the US, Nigeria. We have Prathap from India, so we're a real kind of global community, really.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
UK, Ireland, Sweden. We had Random is
Yeah, yeah, I
he
remember.
joined us from
Switzerland,
Sweden.
right?
Hmm.
Switzerland.
We have somebody from Switzerland. Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
that's a Random, isn't it?
Yeah,
Random. Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
know. Yeah, I know he's in Switzerland. He'll be at
yeah,
the MVP conference summit too.
yeah,
So you'll get a chance if you haven't had a chance to meet him. He'll be there in person.
yeah.
You're
We
going,
all,
Frank, aren't you?
yeah, I'll be at the MCT in Manchester. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I hadn't spoken to him about that yet.
Okay. We had somebody on 1 week there now as well from Mogadishu. Um, just trying to get his name there. He'd be on LinkedIn fairly regularly.
Yeah, I remember we had Ami Diamond from Israel as well, right?
Oh, that's right, Amy Diamond. Yeah,
Yeah, we had Ami Diamond from Israel who showed us. I
He's
think
from
he also,
Israel.
yeah, I'm sure he also showed us something about the Microsoft Forms, Copilot in Microsoft Forms as well. And then one of my demos in Copilot in Microsoft Edge, he was actually a very major contributor to that as well. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He joins in there every now and again, and he's very helpful.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And also in Solomon in the UK, Solomon Jeremiah joins us from time to time, and fills in there for me when I'm on holidays sometimes.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember one of the most recent demos Solomon did about Azure and Azure rule and Entra rule, where he demystified creating custom rules and looking at the inbuilt rule. That was actually a very massive contribution. And
yeah.
that was one very big help that I got for my exam that I just passed. And I see the contribution from the community is really great. I know when I was having serious bandwidth issues, where Solomon gave me a 5G router, that's actually helping a lot now. Yeah.
So it's really all about helping people out and wherever we
Yeah.
can do. Um,
Yeah.
I hope those laptops arrive soon to you.
Yeah,
Um,
so yeah, Frank, again, thank you. Yeah, so we were able to pick four of them from Solomon to somebody coming tomorrow, I guess. So, though the person complained that he was not planning to bring like four, that four was too much for him. I had to plead with him to try and help us bring them. So, yeah, thank you again, Frank, for that gesture. I will try and take it to the remote part of Africa. I'll be traveling on the 20, if not 22nd, to be 23rd or so, so that we can start the event on the 26th. Get to the venue, clean up things, try to check if the bandwidth is fine for us to have live streams or just to do things call. And then we've planned the event already. I'm going to send the schedule to you so you can see. So it's a mountain top community. It's filled with rocks and hills. So in one of the events, we'll be going out to the mountains just so we can have a nice site. And if we can possibly put that online too, to be fine, so you can see.
Very good. That's
Yeah,
a really good community event.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
yeah. So we're
So
going to be
then
there.
Joseph and some of his colleagues are kind of going to remote part of Africa, helping some people that are not able to kind of get some stuff in tech. And a friend, myself and a friend of mine, we donated some secondhand laptops so he can give them to some of the people that really need them.
Yeah. So we're going to do like a competition towards the end of the event. It's a 5-day physical event, 6 hours each day. It's going to be very busy for us. So we're going to cut across soft skills, go to LinkedIn setup, then teach them basics of cloud computing, and then come into AI where you will speak, Frank, and then we'll bring in Solomon to discuss on tech careers, and then bring in somebody here to speak on soft skills, and then someone will take them around SharePoint, just basics. Then in January, I will enroll them into my mentorship program, and then we'll take off from there. So
Okay, very
I can mentor them remotely for throughout next year, from January to probably December, or until they're able to get their first internship
okay.
role. Like, yeah.
So
So
hopefully those laptops will help them be able to log on remotely.
definitely, definitely. That's why, yes, I told Solomon, please try and include the chargers so that, yeah. So we said everything is still intact. So we removed two from one of the cartons and sent four. So we have 8 left. So we'll still keep an eye on the road and see, on the ground and see who is coming. Even if it is one, when they bring it to Lagos, I can ship it to them wherever they are. So if they cannot get it before the event, but I'm sure that the 4 we get here, and the competition is going to be for 3 persons to win, because I'm going to handle 13 people. I don't want to handle more than what I can take care of, because we also try to provide refreshment for them. So, and then we've got writing materials for them, so they can take notes of what they are learning. And then for the 5 days, at least we give them lunch, so they can have something to, So just 13 people is okay for us. So we'll do the competition for the 13 of them, and the first 3 will get one laptop each while we're waiting for the others to come.
Okay, cool. And have you sponsorship from any other companies towards?
Individual tried. So Emmanuel Itoje sponsored the internet data access for the 5 days, and then I got something from somebody for us to print the backdrop and the banners that we're going to use, and then someone else took care of one thing. I So we just got individual support, like 3 persons so far. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And I presume the broadband out there in the mountains wouldn't be great, would it be? Would you
yeah.
use Star?
Hopefully. Yeah. So
You
that's what.
use is Starlink in Africa?
Yeah, there is Starlink here. There is.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
So I'll try it. That's why I want to go like 2 days before the event, so I can do a dry run and see.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So we're nearly up on the hour, Joseph. So just like to tell everyone, this was the last one for 2024, and we'll be back on the 11th of January 2025, and we'll have some more topics, and hopefully we'll keep it going every week for the next year, and hopefully we might get some new people to join us, and as there's new stuff happening all the time, especially with Copilot and Microsoft and that. And
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Congrats on wrapping up another year.
yeah. So 2 years then.
2 years.
Thanks for 2 years of it. Yeah.
2 years
Thanks
of
for all your help.
weekly shows and newsletters. I think started within that time period, and there've been a lot of in-person, real-time contributions, a lot of virtual contributions from like we said, we've lost count. There's probably, I would estimate, Frank, maybe 75 people, 50 to 75, wouldn't you? Over the 2 years.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, and then I want to say our community it might be close to 2,500 now. So,
Oh,
I mean, when you consider the people that follow Microsoft Speakers Hub or Journey to the Cloud or the Azure and AI Show, the newsletters, 2,400. Last time I checked, it was in the 2,400s. So we're approaching 2,500 if we haven't already gotten there.
oh wow, that's great.
Yeah, those kind of numbers are something that I mentioned on one of the MVP calls from the UK. Claire Smith was hosting like a how to either support people through their MVP journey or new MVPs. And I mentioned Microsoft Speakers Hub. You've got a built-in audience of 2,400 because a lot of MVPs, as well as people they had nominated, were asking, well, how do I estimate how many people are in, the video that I watch or whatever? And we've talked about that as well. Like, if Frank, you have this and I have this and Joseph has this on our channels and Seena this week, you have to aggregate all those different sources to figure out, did 100 people watch this? Did 200 people watch this? How many watched it live? How many watched it later? And that those numbers become difficult sometimes. But saying that the reach was up to 2,400 is something that somebody on this show can say, confidently and prove with, here's a link to the Microsoft Speakers Hub. So I think that's another thing that we can be proud of.
Yeah, definitely. How you doing, Paul?
Hey, Paul.
So yeah, like the other thing on the numbers, I kind of looked up from my own LinkedIn thing, trying to estimate numbers for the week.
My audio went.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
Paul.
can hear you there, Paul.
Not stopping, just saying hello.
Yeah,
Hi.
we're just wrapping up for this year, 2024. We'll be back
Oh,
again.
I'm late.
Yeah.
We moved it an hour, or I guess we didn't move it an hour, Frank. This is just the time change, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, have a great holiday.
It's an hour early.
Oh, well, have a great Christmas and everything. I'll catch up with you next year, Dan.
Yeah, you too. Happy Christmas.
Thanks very much, guys. Really good to see you guys.
Yeah, Paul. Happy Christmas.
And Paul, I'll give you the dates once we decide exactly when we're going to be in London. But
Fantastic.
We've already got the plans to be in Manchester. I
Brilliant.
just need a flight to Manchester and then figure out. We've talked about train versus plane, but I've got at least a couple weeks left to make those decisions. I'll be in touch real soon.
Yeah, no worries. I'm around.
Excellent.
Take care, guys.
Okay. Thanks,
Bye.
Paul.
Bye, Paul. Yeah,
Bye.
bye.
Happy
Okay,
holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas.
Yeah, so we're going to end the live show. Thanks, everybody.